EG looked lost in the second half of Mirage, but they found the secret read. They had some individuals show up, and in the end, they took their opponent's map pick 16-13. Now onto their own map pick. It is Overpass, and it is Boggs and Pineapple Phillips on the microphone. Timbermen have the luxury of the CT side, but again, we saw a stellar performance. Over a 30 bomb dropped by Junior. You have to expect he's coming into the second map fiery hot as well. EG, this round focused largely around connector. 3 players here. One towards Fountain, one holding towards Monster. The walk up the connector is on the cards for EG.
One lurk outside B main, ready to go through the tunnel. Walco leading the charge down con. Doors should be open. He has the utility, so he's the man who should be tossing the smoke and the flash in towards B. Probably a smoke for heaven. Dare up close and personal with those dualies. A dangerous one to have to weed out. But time marches on in this round. Walco throws that smoke towards heaven, but the bomb has made its way back up towards A. Is this all part of a fake here? It might be. I think it is. And Timbermen are starting to take the bait. George is going in to sell this one. 4 players down towards B. Dare just around the corner. George sees nothing. He's wondering what's going on. What in blazes is happening as his teammates are starting to fight towards A. HexT unable to control for the second kill, but Rush does take out Shane and Project 90. Bomb can go down now. The bomb's been spotted, yes. George still on the lurk. Junior with a P250 onto Frankie. And Dare left alone. No kit and only the dual Berettas to try and make this round work. It does not seem likely.
It's Kevlar at least, but doesn't seem likely. Holding the middle of the open, he almost found the first kill. He really gets across the line, but in the end he can't get it there. He'll fall back. He's going to try to save this Kevlar for the following, trying to goad a player into the fight. No one's biting, at least not yet. Slowly close in on his position. They need to go now. Rush is low on HP. Junior does get the kill. The P250 Super Soldier gets it done. Julie's recovered by Walco as well. No worries about the bomb detonation either. EG, a solid start on their T side of their own map pick. Again, it's Overpass. They took Mirage 16-13. That's a very solid start here on the second. Galil, a couple AKs, a Mac 10. Got 2 Galils and 2 AKs along with the Mac 10. Timbermen, we knew they loved to force before. It's been a very different Timbermen in this series, though. A full save. Is there a Zeus on Project 90? I think so. Other than that,
there is.
Nothing to be spoken of.
I want to see Zeus cam. What is the Zeus doing? He's out toward short. This actually is possible. You can get a kill from there. If somebody walks into that angle, you can get a Zeus out of that. He's going to peek out, though. He's going to push forward. The Zeus, it's a gun of patience. Not really a gun. It's a weapon of patience.
More like fishing than shooting.
Yeah.
Wait for the bite and then be very quick on the set. Otherwise,
you got to make sure it's close enough to pull the hook, though. You got to set the hook. You can't just rush it, too.
It's an art.
It's a very fine line.
It is a potential second on the cards for Snav, as Rush is low on HP, but he's caught through. I didn't even know it was spammable with the. Oh no, it was hexed from water. I thought it was a spam through the concrete wall. It was through the wood paneling instead. Yeah,
I don't. That's a little spammable, though. The cement.
Yeah, I was very confused. That's why I thought, what's going on?
Yeah,
but no, it is a glow through the wood paneling instead. 4 players survive. It's pretty good for EG. Timbermen, though, very eager to bring out the rifles early on their CT sides. They will do so now, but they're lacking utility. They don't have a kit, and they have a Moss on Project 90. It leaves a lot to be desired. EG, very solid buy as well, with 2 AKs and 3 Galils, decent utility, and a relatively quick play towards water, getting control very aggressively. Player set up with the smoke to go for the set play as well. That's George in towards T-spawn, and a very early boost that is expected, a counter boost, in fact, from default site. Yields the opening for Frankie and a second for Shane. HexT Junior dispatched, and that is the best start that Timbermen could ask for in this B-site take.
George working his way towards side, rush around that smoke, trying to help his teammate who's fighting around. George running and gunning, gets the Galil spray out of the low HP Frankie. Rush might just get aggressed on by Project 90, who slipped through a smoke in towards short. The bomb's still outside Monster, and Rush has retreated to go pick that up. In the meantime, though, Walco's out on A. George finds another on B to add to Walco's tally. George taps for another. He's got 3 to open up the site and potentially the round entirely. Dare unknown making his way through Con. The bomb, though, has to cross. Rush had retreated, thinking of going all the way to A. And now he sits, watching for sewers, knows where Dare is. Rush should not be daring this fight. He needs to keep this bomb alive and get it down on the ground. He creeps forward through the pipe onto site as Dare runs up to A, expecting a rotation.
Sniper Heaven is pretty good though. Was scary for a moment there. Dare could have been holding the angle. Good flash from Walco though, really guarantees the crossing there. And Dare should be expected here. The steps now definitely give him away. This should be a kill for Walco. A free one at that. There's the kill. Dare dropping down right into the crosshair. A 3-0 start for EG, and a round that did not look to be in their favor for a long while there. They lost 2 openings before finding any answers back. It was a 3 versus 5. And they still clawed back.
Great recovery from George. Individual effort. Monstrous individual effort to get that B side open. And that's what we've come to love about George, Nate. Those kind of individual plays, those kind of multi-kills that just pull a team forward and make an unwinnable round winnable. Junior with the opening against Snav, who is starting this one out 0-4 now. Just the pistols here for Timbermen. Rush should be able to get this one onto Dare, and does. Not much that the Timbermen can really do in this round. Just the pistols out, and Project 90's Deagle silenced as well. Shane and Frankie around the George working his way out. Nice little headshot. And a one-tap. All right, he's online. That's back-to-back 3Ks, and this one a little bit cleaner against the pistols, but still. Add that to the kills he had last round. George is just getting better and better in this series.
He's also off to a fiery hot start. I haven't even seen Junior bring out the op yet. He hasn't needed to. It's just the AKs across the board. Actually, 1 M4 for Rush that was recovered in that first rifle round. Timbermen do bring out a big green of their own. They have a kit. They have utility. This should be their chance to put a round on the board. The question is, where will Dare go with the big green in hand? It looks to be towards Fountain. He's peeking over the top. Will he find the opening? The answer is yes. HexT gets caught while Dare is blind. It's a very solid opening for the op of the CT side.
Still a chance for a refrag from EG. Looking to claw back into it. Time's still there. But no pushing from the Timbermen. A little bit of probing out A long. Just a player sitting out towards Flowers. But other than that, it's pretty much clear. Walco. Walking out, good flashbang timing, spots the leg of Project 90, sprays away. Shane burns down to 20. Project 90 caught by George, who is traded by Frankie. 4v3 advantage still held by Timbermen, but it's so tenuous. Their HP 26 combined on site. Shane is blind in the smoke, escaping alive. Frankie there as well. Shane still tucked into barrels. They're not ready for him. Walco falls. Junior trades. Junior and Rush now to bring this back. 33 on the clock. 32, 31, 30. Still the man on site. Low HP is Frankie. Heaven's smoke will dissipate soon enough. Frankie removed by Junior. Takes a little bit of damage. Tosses the flash, but Dare still wins the fight against Rush. Junior spotted retreating behind the pillar. Has to get the bomb down. Time is fleeting. He will manage the plant. The off spots him out. No, just the Heaven player. But the nade chunks him down a little bit more, softening him up. Dare thinking about peeking. Tosses out utility. Flashbang, Junior sprays. He does have vision back, but Dare with a stylish frag with the headshot to take down his counterpart. No op for Junior into this round, but probably going to see it come out into the next because Dare's op is basically what saves the Timbermen.
Definitely is. What an awkward take. So many flashes, so many blind players. The defender barrel and I believe it was Walco, literally just clung to each other in sheer blindness for a solid second and a half, 2 seconds even. It's a very chaotic and hectic round, but it's a round that goes the way of Timbermen, largely because the op has activated Dare. He found the opening fountain. He found a second and a third over towards B to rebuke the take. Sure, the bomb got planted, but he still got the job done. He still got his team on the board. Evil Geniuses, though, have more than enough to buy in response. We have an op for Junior being brought out as well to challenge the likes of Dare. EG want to get this second map done in a clean fashion as well. Timbermen, their economy is still hamstrung. They have MP9 for Project 90, and the spam from Walco and Rush are good for 2. Project 90 and Shane both taken down. Junior finds yet another on the Dare, winning the op duel here as well as on Mirage. 5 versus 2 secured. Walco holding for a B short press. Snav and Frankie, at this point, want nothing to do with the round. You're going to let the bomb plant go down on A if they choose to do so. It will be more than likely a save from the 2 remaining defenders.
It should be a save. It'd best be a save, but EG want to make it not a save as they're still prowling around looking for these kills. They don't want anything moving over into the next round for the Timbermen. They want to make this as easy as possible for their own sakes. Bomb will finally be going down, though. EG realize they do have to get that to the ground if they want a chance to win the round. Rush. He does fall. But in the grand scheme of things, doesn't really bother EG too much. It's worth the risk. Wow, very pensive hunt from EG. I would have expected more pressure. But they're just going to take their time. Not really going to force the issue.
Nope. Build up their own economy instead. I can respect the call. Rush has 9k in the bank prior to the start of this round. He can easily invest into a rifle. EG already have 5 rounds out of the gate, looking incredibly good on this T side of Overpass, and we do have a timeout called. It would make sense if it was called by the Timbermen, but
it was.
Okay, they did. They didn't call any timeouts in the last map, so definitely surprised to see it now, but talked about it. Timbermen normally do not call timeouts whatsoever. I am glad to see them begin to do so.
They've started doing it over the past season and a half, I would say. But it's once they tilt where they stop. So they haven't tilted quite yet, Nate.
It's reassuring. Suppose.
It is, isn't it?
Keep in mind, this is the weaker side for EG.
It's the weaker side for everybody.
It is. But, you know, they have a 52% win rate and a 58% on the CT side, something absurd like that. Meanwhile, it's kind of neck and neck for Timbermen, like 47 and 48, something along those lines.
Both sub 50.
Yeah, both sub 50 is the key statistic there. Project 90 getting relatively close towards monsters. It's a 2-player setup here. I like this call. Another adjustment to this defense. The issue is nothing's gotten the ball rolling for them beyond the op of Dare. And of course that op is not present in this round. A walk-in is spotted, but still won. Good kill from George, who's crossed the double-digit threshold, already at 10 kills to his name. And it's an immediate response from EG. They fall back towards A on a swivel. And Hext needs to be careful at party. There's a player lurked up long in Dare, and he might just go unchecked.
Walco around the corner wins the fight. He does go check, Nate. And Snav has also been spotted. Tosses a nade. Hext goes forward, and Junior's flash just a little bit too late, or Hext a little bit too early. Either way, Snav able to get a kill. Bring this back to a 1-player difference Frankie drops the bomb, and Junior. Nobody expecting him around. Molotov into divider, but Snav picks up a second kill. Rush again, 28 HP, still lurking down towards B. George has grabbed the bomb, though, and he's booking it towards B. Smoke goes out for heaven. Project 90 needs two. Gets the first and the second. Composed from the man making his debut here in ESL Challenger League. And a second round on the board from Timbermen following the timeout. That is good. They needed a round on the board back. But already EG knocking on the door of 6, which is a solid T-side half on Overpass. They get 7, 8. That's where Timbermen start to lose this half and start to lose this map. Things really start to slip away from them fast. As EG continue to stack rounds, they've already gotten those 5 again. It's already a decent score on Overpass T-side. Everything more is just beginning to heap coals on the heads of Timbermen.
Yes, and this is another chance to isolate that victory for Timbermen. If EG win this round, they break the economy once more. They should have a 6th and a 7th by extension. And that is a more than respectable side, T-side half, as you mentioned. Timbermen pressuring a little bit towards short, but for the most part playing stock standard. In fact, playing quite passive over towards A. 2 towards the back end of bathrooms. It's a little off angle from Snab. The question is, will it actually snag a kill? Won't be presented one, at least not in the early going. Walco just clearing up long bathrooms instead. We saw a player entrenched here before. Let's walk forward. The Molotov from EG.HexT will compel the retreat from the defense instead. Still just under a minute remaining. EG beginning to group up potentially for an A play. 4 players here, 1 towards long. I like the call. The issue is there are 3 defenders waiting.
There's kills going back and forth. Hex traded out by George, who doubles it up. A Molotov going for back dice as well, or did that land jump up? No, that was a back dice molly. George, though, taken down by Frankie, who's forced out by the flames and still picks up a pair. Walco salvaging it to a 2v2, and now to a man advantage. Sprays down the third, the in-game leader, picking up the pace in the kills. And there's that 6th and most likely 7th round for the evil geniuses. Timbermen reset again. Big plays by both George and Walco, who's having himself a very good map here on map number 2. Especially as an in-game leader on the T side, Walco's put up some big numbers right now.
Walco is putting up some big numbers. Rush not nearly as high, sure, on the kill department, but still a more than respectable ADR approaching 100 or thereabouts. I think 95 was the ADR I saw before this round started. So the 2 players who are a little bit quieter on map 1, having good impact on map 2. Good flash for a peek. Frankie's not beheaded, but he doesn't find the kill either. There's 1 hero rifle in Frankie's hands. It's the FAMAS. There's a couple pistols surrounding, a 5.7, a pair of deagles, but should be an easy round to go through. Good press over towards Monster from Walco. Finds 2. He might have even spotted the 3rd. Project 90 in the Chaos will find 1 with the USP, but he's spotted and tagged down quite low. The issue is Snav is here to support, and he's found a 2nd. EG.HexT is dispatched, just a 3 versus 3. EG, they need to stem the bleeding, put on a tourniquet. Keep this round convincing and clean. Junior, backside spots the boost up, misses the shot though. He's falling back, needs to be careful against Dare here. Wins the duel quick with the op. At this point, Snav should look to snag a rifle and then fall away for a save. It's the only real option. He won't even grab the rifle, just instead escort Project 90 out of the hot zone. 7-2, secured as we expected, but there is a silver lining at least in that AK saved by Project 90.
Yeah, not a bad save, and 2 kills isn't terrible, but the thing is at this point, for Timbermen, these little small victories aren't enough. Yeah, it's nice to save the AK, yeah, it's nice to get those 2 kills, but they need rounds, Nate. They need to get these rounds on the board. They've already surrendered 7. They're running out of time in this half. We're hitting round 10. EG might just have 80% of them.
Could very well. Rifles are out though. Couldn't really expect a victory in that round with that kind of investment. Here's where they need to put their foot down. If we want Timbermen to show us any signs of promise, it has to begin now. It has to begin with rounds strung together. Spam from Frankie early on finds nothing. It's a slower, more laid back round from EG as they know the pressure's on at this stage. George will again just show presence towards B as he's done so well. He is that steady B site hold from EG. And meanwhile, the bulk of this play is towards A. 2 pressuring towards along a third in tow. That's Rush. They're going to have to unseat the op of Dare, though. That is no small feat.
Dare's got no util. This is the opportunity. Jiggle reveals position. Dare misses the shot, and he's going to try and fall all the way back. But EG aren't going to pressure. They're just going to fall away, start working towards B. Project 90 getting flashed in. Molotov prep for Sewer. Project 90 eats that shot from Junior, who picks up Shane in the interim. Project 90 down to 5 HP as well by virtue of the spray. And now EG going back up con towards A. Snav a messy spray, traded nicely. A nade finishes off Project 90 towards short. Dare is still on site, and he misses that shot. He can't afford to miss that. HexT will take him down. And Rush, caught by Frankie. That's the bomb in the open, but Frankie eats so much damage off the Molotov. Nothing he could really do. 8 out of 10 for EG Black on this T side of Overpass.
It's another victory isolated.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
It's the key caveat to me. It leaves Timbermen with no money to try again. It leaves them back on pistols. 2-9 seems like an inevitability. And then from there, it's not long to go in that second half. And even then, EG can still secure 13 in this first half.
HexT revealed. Nice fighting. It's Project 90. Crisp shot. Snav answers back with one of his own. That's a nice trade. Junior's op resting on the ground. Could be tossed out of the map here. And actually, Dare's just gone by HexT. Rush does not know he's here. Rush, rush, rush!
Timing could not be more unfortunate.
He had time, though. He had time to readjust to that.
Hold on his nade. George, okay, back to the taps on B. He will get 2. Snav trades it back. That's 2 on the Deagle in this round, but in the meanwhile, his compatriots have fallen. EG know where this last player is. He's towards B, and so they'll rush towards A instead. Bomb plant should be forthcoming. A Molotov connector to cover all their bases. Exactly the right call. That is where Snav is. Question is, will this defender attempt the retake? It is possible. But with a lack of kit and utility, it's going to be a hard-fought battle.
Yeah, it's not an easy 1v2 for Snav, especially with HexT and Walco playing buddy system too. Both towards bank, bomb planted truck. Snav making all the noise now. They know where he is, and Walco just taps him out. 9 rounds T side Overpass.
Walco's 14-2.
Yeah, Walco's having a map, dude.
I knew he was having a map. I didn't know he had a 7.0 KD.
Well, he didn't until this last round.
That's
Prior,
true.
he had a 6.0 KD.
He still had an absurd amount of survivals. He might have actually fallen in the only 2 rounds they've lost.
I think yeah, because they haven't saved on T side. So.
There again, another challenge towards Fountain. Some run though, nobody's given. There's an early lean towards B. 1 player connector, everybody else either short or monster. Junior with the op is challenging short. It's a straight flash play out. Project 90 the first, Project 90 a second up close and personal. George finally unseats him. That might be enough damage for the defenders to soak up. They've secured something, and they have in fact stalled EG's offensive. All 3 players grouping up and slowing down towards water. They're going to boost up. That's the adjustment call. The op of Dare, that's already migrated down, and that makes things all the more difficult on this take.
It's George again. The boost pays off. There's still 2 players here, and Snav can rotate relatively quickly. The op down as well. But the utility. 1 smoke. That's what Snav has. He also has the kit. Flashing in is Junior. That's the last bit of utility for EG as they run into side. Frankie not cleared out of pit, and he will actually grab Walco. No more 7.0 KD. Just a 4 point something. 4.33. George, though, there's his third. All headshots. He's online for sure. Junior chimes in. Snav makes the drop. He does not make the noise. Don't know where he's coming from, but Junior's on the angle. Doesn't miss. Bomb goes down just after Junior gets the kill. Double digits for EG. How much further can they go before we hit halftime?
Should have a relatively easy going here. I say that. Snav actually goes for the investment. M4, Scout for Dare, Eagles, Project 90, and Frankie. Okay, so one hero rifle instead is the play. You've seen quite a few hero rifles from Timbermen in this map. Maybe a sign of desperation. Dare has a Scout as well. Smoke towards short. Install this take, but again, it's a heavy lean towards B, and Walco's already out. The IGL tapping away, misses, splits the goalposts multiple times, and that is a kill given away for free. Dane found one Hex to drop Project 90 in the smoke in response, but less than ideal start for EG on this take. The silver linings, they know it's pistols, and they know it's a compromised investment, so now they can play to their strengths. So now they can use their advantage in riflery and win the round with confidence.
I mean, even if Timbermen get to 5, is that even enough to mount some sort of resistance? Because EG's CT side, 58.9%. A pistol round win rate just over 50. They've looked strong. They only have the confidence now backing this up. George and Rush, 2 quick kills, but Shane Eagle headshots. Gayota cannot get a third. Dare now with the scout, the last man alive. Nothing he can really do. This is a really tough gun to use in a 1v2 situation. No kit, no util, no upgrade. He does tag Junior and swap to a Deagle.
Okay. Does finish. Yeah, does finish where he started. Next, though, we'll grab that up. And that kind of loss, while less than ideal for EG, can still be soaked up. There's only 2 rounds left in the half. They can easily reinvest here now. Timbermen also get a buy on deck with the op and full M4's kit to boot on Shane. But we've seen nothing to instill confidence from Timbermen. We've seen some cool individual plays. We saw another cool Deagle double kill like we did on Mirage, this time from Shane in towards Pit. But nothing to actually give them legs to stand on.
Yeah, it's not even a unicycle. There's just nothing. It's a pillow on the floor. Nothing holding it up. Trades back. Walco down again. He's tied first in the last few rounds. Getting a little unlucky.
Selfless IGL.
Yeah. I mean, he's like, all right, I've had my fun. You guys can go get some kills. I'll create the space this time.
Although last time I did feel like he was really going for kills and just failed miserably, I won't lie. Oh, timing. Almost good for
so
Frankie.
unlucky.
That was so unlucky. He almost got that kill. 3 versus 3 secured, though. Dare dropping George in the meanwhile. Dare readjusting as well. He's had some impact on the CT side with the op, but not what you'd expect from an opper on Overpass. X lurking up long.
Not of his caliber either.
Yeah, he's not really had a star-studded performance like we expected.
This is getting brutal. Molotov forcing Shane to the open. All up to Dare. Critical miss. 1v3. Kid available on the ground. Bomb will go down. Molotov op on his angle. Does he even try and save?
Yep, they'll try. They'll probably be allowed to save as well. What's the op going to do? It's going to be 12-2, potentially even 13 for EG on the T side of Overpass. The series looked like it could go either way in the opener, but it's been a very different story on map 2.
Nate, I think it's safe to say EG are winning this map.
So EG are winning the series, is that what you're inferring?
I think so, yeah. I think it's safe to say that.
Fair. The individuals playing as they are, HexT and Rush are at the bottom of with 9. It's tied with the top of Timbermen and Dare. It's not painting a pretty picture. And the buy from Timbermen is compromised. They lost the op. That means they're on Famasas and MP9. 1 hero M4. No kits. A lack of utility. Desperation for Timbermen. Although I think we've seen desperation for many rounds at this point. The EG can just run their default. In fact, they're actually going for something different once more. 3 just racing down long. 1 towards Fountain. 1 holding B. Far more passive than normal. That's George.
Oh, look at the con push, though. Frankie's behind him.
Frankie's encircled by George. Oh, no, he is not. But will Frankie actually get this kill? Because he wants more. He's desperate. He will eventually pull the trigger, dropping Rush. It's only 1 kill. Need more than that. Snav's drop was definitely heard by Walco. He's now inching forward, looking for the opening. Good kill from Walco. Solid start. The 2 players towards CT are both smoked out as well. Dare jumping up in the chaos. Will find 1. Still recoverable. Flash thrown in. Rotations have come through. EG needs to either pivot or go in now while the smokes are still bloomed. Dare finds yet another from the same angle, pushing forward. George will find a response onto Frankie, but Dare answers in kind. It's just the op of Junior. 1 versus 3. He's found the first. He has some room, but what can he do with 40 seconds remaining?
Get a rifle and try and take a 1v1. I don't think the op is necessarily going to work in this situation, but if you can find a rifle, it's definitely viable. He's got enough time, and he's going to make the right rotation down to B. There has been no rotation down yet from either Shane or Project 90. They're playing the numbers game. They do not want to be divided and conquered. It's a good call. It's always a risk when you're in this kind of a situation. Do you stick together or do you split up? I think Timbermen are making the prudent call. They do not have a kit, though, which is a bit of an issue. And again, if they give Junior the 1v1s, it is not going to go well for them. They are sticking together, though, is exactly what they need to do. And at what point does Junior check back towards heaven? He's been sprayed. He's almost taken down. Shane's closing the gap, running him down, but no scope from Junior. 1 more, does he have it in him? Project 90, spraying and praying. He has his prayers answered. And I think he's got the time. I don't hear the music. I think he's done it before. Yeah. 13-2 into the half, or 12-3, not quite 13-2, but still, indomitable lead for EG. And we'll see you in 3.
Timbermen do at least prevent the 13-2, but can they pull off the comeback? I don't think so. I'm just being completely honest. 3-12 is the score. I'm Pineapple Phillips, joined by Boggs and Timbermen. They're entering the tougher side of Overpass. It is the T side, and Evil Geniuses, they've looked calm, collected, studied up, and individually hot thus far in this second map. HexT on site has Dooley. He's going to be pressured. Will he get the kills? Flashes are good, but no clean frags to be found. In fact, he's caught. Walco will find one in the chaos. It's 1-for-1 thus far. Rush on the ramp. A very awkward duel is caught by Shane. George will trade his teammate, combining fire with a teammate. No, he won't find a second. Is that his dare to double down? Leaving just Junior in the 1v3. 9 HP to his name. Sure, 2 players are tagged, but 1 versus 3 at this state seems near impossible. Swing comes in. Frankie finds the headshot with the Glock. And Timbermen, they do technically string 2 rounds together at long last. The question is, how long can they hold out before EG get rifles on board?
Not an ideal pistol round for EG, but a necessary win for Timbermen. If they were going to have a chance at a comeback here, they would need to win the pistol round. They got the bomb down. They won the round. They didn't allow too many kills from the Evil Geniuses either. The force is here for EG, though, and Walco on the scout. Getting a tag on Project 90. Junior, scout of his own in hand as well. Armor on all 5 EG players. No rifles aside from the bolt-action taggers. It's the 5.7s of the Deagles. They look to do the cleanup job. The bomb, not really looked at by Timbermen right now. Looking for information and picks. Not looking to do too much else right now. Walco, a chance for more. He's crosshair aiming for a tag though, Nate. And I like that call. It's a lot easier to get a body shot than it is to get a headshot. And with that kind of range, just tag him. Let your teammates bag him. It's a good 1-2 punch. It's exactly what the pistols need, especially up close and personal. Upgrade to a gun. Don't take a lot of damage in a fight. And also make the T-side more hesitant in their facing.
Brings them right into Deagle range. It's perfect. It's a match made in heaven. Swing comes in. Good tag from Junior. Frankie and Shane chime in, but Junior finds a second, doubling down on the scout. It's a 3 versus 3. Snav and Shane are both incredibly low as well. This is very doable for the CT side. Shane finds one, but he's taken down. HexT finds the second player who's not tagged as well. Snav, 29 HP in a dream. He'll find nothing. HexT jumping up on the truck finds that kill. 3 for him in the round. 2 on the 5.7. And a swift answer from EG, as theoretically Timbermen tied together 2 rounds with the last of the first half and the first of the second, but realistically they have yet to get 2 rounds in a row on this second map.
That's pretty rough. That's never a good sign. It's not a winning recipe. And Timbermen now gonna have to force back into this one. Yes, they could have saved, but they're on double eco anyway. So for Timbermen, this is almost what you could call their last stand. It's Deagles. It's armor. Junior needs to convert these kills. He does get one. It's messy. Sprays away for a second. Tag down very low. Need to go out to cover his retreat. Teammates there as well to keep him alive. He's very low. He's able to reload. And he's able to back away towards the safety of A. Maybe even tossing an MP9 over to the SMG of Rush. We'll see. Deagle spam out. HexT deals with Dare. And George just waiting in con. Walco is there for more. Frankie tries to take contact, but George just pops out of con. There's one for Walco. Almost a team ace, but Walco has 2. 14-4. EG up by 10. And Timbermen forcing again. At least Dare is. Snav joins the party. Frankie as well.
They have to.
You can't even say that the force by worse have begun. It's just desperate.
It's a force by rebellion, desperate against an ever-looming threat. Trying to delay the inevitable at this point.
And it's not even like it's an X-Wing versus the Death Star.
No.
It's a cloud car, Nate.
It's a 2012 Honda Pilot versus the Death Star, I think is the best way to put it. Frankie, though, is making a case for himself, making a case for the Honda Pilot. 2 kills, Shane a 3rd, okay. Don't doubt it. Big box might have some gas left in the tank. Junior only 1. Snav in the meanwhile drops Rush. It's a 1 versus 4 for the Opera. All the players are tagged.
The bomb! The bomb!
Oh, he might
He can
spot
get
it
the
as well.
bomb.
He might spot it. Timing's everything here. They're
He's heard
racing
it,
for
surely.
it. Yeah, they've heard each other. Junior does not
But look
want
at
to
the
take
health.
this duel, but he doesn't know. He doesn't have the luxury of information. He's gonna drop down Con. He's gonna get that kit as well. This is a
Does
very
he heard him.
round.
Surely. He knows. He has to know.
Big first. Now it's doable. Now you can commit. 1 versus 2 for Junior.
They've got 20 HP combined.
1, 2. They don't even get across. Junior in towards water. Read them like a book ahead of the smoke and, or the flash and connector, excuse me. Ahead of the two rotating towards Monster and Timberman. Stalled by the steps, psych themselves out, and give away what was a 1 versus 4 to the Opper of EG.
Desperation. Desperation. It's a desperate race against the buys and the race against time. And unfortunately for the Timbermen, there's no winged hussars to arrive. I don't know if they're going to be able to do too much here, Nate. 2 Galils and AK, make it 1 Galil and an AK as HexT and Rush delete the Galils. Project 91 onto Walco, but the nade from Junior finishes him off. Shane Zebo ringing out, countered by the M4 of Rush, who domes both him and Dare. That is GG 15-16-4. 2 evil geniuses on map 2. An utterly dominating performance there in the second. Very close on Mirage, but Overpass really showcased the gulf between these two.